Whether it's a man or a woman, narcissism is no joke. It's a very serious personality disorder. In this video, however, I will be discussing the signs of a female narcissist. It's not that narcissistic males can't do anything on my list here. They certainly can, but some are just more important highlights that might help you spot female narcissism specifically. Number 1, a social media addiction. All narcissists have a social media addiction, whether it's all the dating apps, tweeting obsessively, or fighting with other people like a true keyboard warrior in a YouTube video comments section. Females with high levels of narcissism, however, tend to focus more on things like posting incredible amounts of selfies, what they had for lunch, as if anybody actually cares. And there also is a preoccupation with high follower counts and getting a massive amount of hearts and likes on all of their posts. Women also have a tendency to create a totally different identity than the one that they actually have in real life. For example, they might be tagging along on a vacation with coworkers, their friends, and even their partner, but you'll find them posting on their social media and updating everything as if they're on the trip alone and they have some kind of socialite celebrity lifestyle. Number 2, vanity. Again, all narcs are hella vain, but it's women more often than not who are far more obsessed with physical appearances, not just other people, but their own as well. That being the case, you can really strike a nerve if you discuss how they look, what they're wearing, or even their weight. You'll notice as well, more often than not, women are going in for plastic surgery and other procedures, and they do this more than narcissistic men. Number 3, self-centeredness. Being selfish, come on, that's a classic sign that a person has at least some narcissistic traits. Female narcissists spend far more time usually talking about themselves than males do. You might notice a female going on and on with a monologue and also asking very little about you. If for some reason the conversation does move in a different direction, you'll find somehow it comes back around to them so that they can carry on with their one-woman show. Female narcissists will often play the victim and make types of excuses for why they've made a mistake or for why they're engaging in unacceptable behavior. And you might also find that these excuses have men playing a primary role, and those are the ones who the woman tends to blame. A man hurt them or lied to them or did something to them. For example, they might say, well, he was flirting with me. All I did was be friendly. I wasn't flirting back. Or something like, my boss expects me to do more work. He picks on me because I'm a woman. When in reality, it's not true. It's just that the narcissist probably isn't pulling their own weight at their job, and their boss is coming down on them for a lackluster performance. Number 5, mean girls. Typically, females with high levels of narcissistic tendency aren't physically aggressive. Not always. Plenty of them can be. But most of the time, females tend to be more vicious in those high school mean girls kind of ways. They spread the rumors that you've done all kinds of horrific things that never happened, and the gossip spreads like wildfire that you are a terrible person. They bully by running smear campaigns, for example, going around to everybody who they can find to share how terrible you are. They're also more prone to really childish name-calling or bringing up petty things during an argument. They'll always hit below the belt. If they're feeling particularly nerky, they can even decide they're going to ignore you. And as they do that, they might be waiting for an apology or waiting for you to chase them. Now, I want to be clear that this kind of abuse, and it is abuse, can be just as damaging as physical forms of aggression. This does not mean that a narcissist can't be just as bad, if not worse, as a male with the same tendencies. Number 6, overly emotional. Narcissists are some of the most easily offendable people that you'll ever meet, and this is due to the incredible frail and fragile ego. Women are more than likely to be offended over a male narcissist. The fact that they're more likely to be offended, even when you're not trying to, can lead to out of control emotional outbursts and horrific lashing out. This is also a good time, if they choose, for them to shut down and go silent. Either way, emotions are running high with someone like this. Dealing with the aftermath of a toxic relationship can feel like trying to find your way through a really dense fog. I specialize in helping people understand and recover from narcissistic personality disorder by offering a unique approach to counseling and coaching. Unlike traditional sessions, my support happens over the phone, so you can unwind privately in your own space and have a genuine, relaxed conversation. Say goodbye to those stuffy office environments and that impersonal, supposed one-size-fits-all advice. Every session is tailored to be exactly what you need, and you get the honesty and insight from somebody who understands what truly works. Real, customized guidance that also helps you feel validated, supported, and in control. To chat with a survivor who will be there for you every step of the way, click the link at the top of the screen, drop me a text or an email to get started today. Number 7, super needy. I mean, all narcs are needy. Let's get that out of the way. However, a female narcissist can and will be seen as far more dependent on other people than a male. First of all, females need far more validation. I'll expand on that in a minute. You may notice that they need constant compliments, reassurance that they're attractive, desirable, sexy, and so on. I do, however, have to point out that this is not always like narcissism related. When any person, male, female, narc, or empath, has low self-esteem, they will be looking for others to boost them up and to make them feel good about themselves. The real issue in cases like these is the person doesn't believe that they're wanted or lovable, whatever the case may be. Seeking validation from others, narcissist or not, is a fool's errand, though. For example, if you don't think you're attractive or intelligent, no amount of somebody else telling you that you are is going to fix the issue. Self-esteem is just that, self-esteem issues. Where the narcissist goes wrong is they can be aware that they have self-esteem problems, but they decide to make it everybody else's chore and task to lift them up. They get disheartened, of course, when this doesn't work. In true narcissistic fashion, they blame you for not being able to do what they should be doing. And this is a huge part of why you never feel like you can do enough for them. You most certainly can. That's not the issue. The low self-esteem, frankly, survivor, is their job to fix. There's something wrong there internally, and that has nothing to do with you. Number 8, mind reading. I have found very little about this as I've been digging around reading articles and things about female narcissism. I only ever found one piece, and it was a few years ago, that talked about how females with NPD expect other people to be mind readers. Now, I think this is true for a lot of narcissists, but even in my own work that I've done with my clients over the last 5 years, it's very clear that characteristically, narcissistic women, more of them than men, expect you to know what they're thinking, feeling, and what you need to be doing to keep them happy at every single turn. And so I wanted to mention this here in this video. You might hear specific phrases like, well, you should have known I didn't want to go to that restaurant. You should have known that when I didn't text you back, I was mad at you, and you should know why. Number 9, seductiveness. This is a huge part of female narcissism. I will not get too much into detail here. YouTube doesn't like that. Plus, I find it a little distasteful. I don't want to offend any listeners, so I will be as clear yet nondescript as I can. Women absolutely capitalize on their sex appeal, their ability to be flirtatious, and their looks to coerce people into relationships with them. You'll see more provocative and even suggestive photos on social media, for example. Physical behavior is used as a bargaining chip in some relationships where a narcissist will only show the affection or be physical with a person if they feel something is in it for them. Or they might openly engage in these activities after forcing a partner to promise to take them somewhere or buy them something, for example. This is huge during the love bombing phase of the relationship. They will be very physical, very willing to do so, and then boom, take it all away and begin withholding in order to control a person. Number 10, instability. A lot of times women with more severe NPD are very volatile and unstable. Holding down a job, for example, is typically pretty impossible, as is having long-term meaningful relationships of any kind, That's just virtually beyond all reach. Over the years, I have begun to call this either high-functioning or low-functioning narcissism. Since this is a disorder that we know runs on a spectrum, there are some male and female narcs alike who can just handle, for lack of a better term, their disorder more than other people. They can hold a job, not be ridiculous spenders, and maybe even be okay with money and so on. But I feel the more intense signs of narcissism, the more signs of narcissism a person has, the lower functioning they are. So for some, it is just impossible. There is also a sense of entitlement that comes in here with female narcissism, where they don't feel as if they have to work or lift a finger or do anything of that sort. That should all be done for them. Number 11, the chase. This is also something that I haven't been able to find much about in articles and research, but where I did find it is from hearing so many stories about narcissism from clients and survivors alike over the last 5 or 6 years. Female narcissists not only want you to chase and chase and chase, sometimes they'll actually break up with you and end the relationship just to see if you will continue to chase them. If you choose not to do so for the 100th time, they'll turn on you and lash out at you and accuse you of never having loved them at all. And there seems to be this overarching theme in the chase that you just need to continue to prove your love and undying devotion to a female narcissist again and again and again. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier about self-esteem. If a person doesn't feel desirable, they absolutely will go to extremes, like breaking up, to try to self-soothe and make themselves feel like someone wants them. And this is also why I feel in a lot of cases, a female narcissist will pursue and be very pushy with their potential supply sources. If they can snag somebody, it helps the ego, it helps the self-esteem, they feel desired and wanted. Number 12, status, status, status. It's more common for the female narcissist to have a materialistic obsession. They might have fantasies about being rich, even talk a lot about name brand clothing, other accessories. They're obsessed with other symbols of wealth and things that people assume rich folks have, the top line cars, the home, other things like that. They can also carry over into friendships and relationships with this nonsense. This is not just romantic relationships that suffer in these ways. They do this with everybody. They might try to be friends or mingle only with the most successful people they can find. This can also tie into their reputation and status with, of course, their social media. Number 13, wearing the petty crown. Female narcs are just more petty than males with higher levels of narcissism. They just are. They have a tendency to get stuck and hyperfixate on very small details. And usually these are things that don't matter or that nobody else even notices. And this brings a level of bitterness, nastiness, resentment, and jealousy to a female narcissist. And this also leads to them working harder to get revenge on someone. Now, I just want to be clear once more. I'm not saying that male narcs don't do these things and that female narcs only do these things. A huge disclaimer. There is a lot of overlap because I'm still talking about the disorder in general. These are some more subtle differences between men and women. So this is yet another callback to just being in my line of work for all these years. Women seem far more interested in getting petty revenge, being jealous, feeling scorned over a male narcissist. It's been my experience that the female will try to get people fired from their jobs, lose their homes. They can even fight for sole custody of children that they don't even want, but they want to take it and hurt their partners and feel as if they have power and control. I also just want to add here, if you've made it this far, female narcs absolutely do this to other women as well. Like I said, friends, coworkers, family, children. It's not just women necessarily doing this to men. Nobody is safe. Just like with male narcs, no one is safe from a female narcissist. And just like any other narc, what you're looking for, if you're trying to determine what this person is going through mentally, you're looking for patterns of behavior. Do they habitually lack empathy, sympathy, seem to have a sense of entitlement or a grandiosity about them? Those are the key signs of narcissism across the board. If you feel like you're dealing with a female narc, keep your distance, consider ending things with them. Keep your expectations low. These are not people who are ever going to give you what you need in a relationship. If you found this video insightful or helpful, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. It's free, easy, and offers amazing support as it helps keep my channel growing. It also allows you to keep up to date with my videos and information. If you would like to add a level of support, consider becoming a channel member. For $1 a month, you can enter an exclusive group of survivors who help me keep my channel running. You can do that by clicking the join button just below the video or click the link that's available for you in the description. I thank you for the consideration as well as taking the time to listen today. And as always, have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.